Yes. What is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Network, and we are back. My man, what's up, Cricket?
What's going on, brother? How you doing? It's been about a month since we did one of these, man. We both had some things come up, weren't able to get in here, but it's good to see you, bro. Hope everything's been going all right. I'm ready to get in here and talk a little sports with you, sir. How you been?
Good, brother. Good. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to do some March sadness because I don't know who's bracket right now. It's kind of happy, but we got to break down, talk some Sweet 16, baby. I've been good, man. Listen, got my Cocoa Beach T-shirt. I know you were talking about it earlier. Good. Very loud, just like me.
I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. I like that. That's the first thing I said to you when we clicked on here. I was like, man, that T-shirt's dope, bro. You're looking good, man. You're looking good. I'm ready for a good show.
Likewise, my man. Likewise, bro. Listen, the reason you see the scene, the change of scenery here. I
do.
It's funny. My family, my in-laws, and my wife and the kids went to Universal for a spring break. I couldn't take off. Got some more work conflicts that I can. Usually I do, but it's one of those times that I couldn't. But they left the dogs, right? So my dog and my in-law, so they're both here right now. They're quiet, bro. So when you start hearing barking, because they like to fight with each other and shit, you know what I mean?
I haven't heard them yet, man. I'll be honest, that's being good right now, man.
I warn them out, dude. I warn them out. But every once in a while, they'll fucking jump on the TV and start barking at some shit, man. It's like they're especially the one, bro. They're both doodles, right? They're both mini doodles, right? Okay. So yeah. And my in-laws, he's like a little alarm, bro. He barks at everything at least 4 or 5 times in the hour, you know what I mean? Every hour. And there's nothing that he's looking at because I got everything like, shaded, all the blinds are off. He just fucking likes to bark. And then he fucking pisses the other one off and the other one starts barking.
Yeah. One's got to outdo the other one. That's always the way it goes, man.
Absolutely, man. Well, let's start with some March Madness, my brother. Listen, I don't know about your bracket, but I'm in your group. I'm in 4 different groups. I haven't even checked yet because I don't want to. It's the typical, 5 seeds go down when they're not supposed to. All the ones are still alive, right? If I'm not mistaken, which is one of those things that I went chalk when he came to the Final Four, knowing that this year was going to be a little different. But again, I chose the wrong 12 seats to advance and the wrong 5 seats to advance in that first round, and it was a complete shit show.
Yeah, dude. That's the thing is like Will was talking about it, and I give him credit. My guy I do my morning show with over on the Game On Network. He was telling me before everything started. He's like, man, I just feel for some reason it's going to be pretty chalky this year. And I was like, man, it never is. We always think that it never is. And I'll be damned. It's for the most part, it's been chalk, man. 1s and 2s are, I think all of them are still alive, if I'm not mistaken, right? Usually St. John. That's right. St. John was the only one. That's true. I forgot about St. John's, which, you know what? I was kind of expecting it. And I did pick St. John's. I took Arkansas, man. I took Arkansas to lose to Texas Tech in the next round. So I actually picked that part. My bracket's not doing that bad. I did lose one of my Elite 8 teams, got all the Final Four, national champion, and all that stuff alive. So that's the thing about these brackets. You can think you're doing real bad, right? But if you get the Final Four right, and if you wind up getting the national, you really got a lot of points later in those rounds.
Absolutely. It's funny. Anything Elite 8 and under, if you have a 60% of those, from the Elite 8 to the championship, like you said, dude, you are probably going to win whatever tournament you're in, with your fellas.
I'll tell you right now, when you're looking at those rankings and all this stuff and all your different pools, don't be looking at where position you're in right now. Yeah. The only thing you need to look at is how many possible points you have available. Because you can be in first place and only have 1,460 available, and some dude can be in 33rd and have 1,700 available, and he's going to wind up blowing right by you right there. Because most of the time you'll have like the same stuff picked. So you can't make points that he won't make. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing you need to pay attention right now is how many possible points you can get.
The NCAA bracket is like when you're a teenager, right? Yo, you took out this chick that's really hot. Do not blow your load early on, right? You know what I'm saying, dude? Keep it. It's keep it for the long race, because if you want a second date.
Bro,
so
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
You talk about all these bracket pools and everything, man. I was always that kid. Like I said, I placed my first sports bet when I was 12 years old. I lost it. Man. I lost it. Had to mow the yard for a month to pay for that damn thing. Shout out to the Patriots for screwing that up. But anyway,
holy shit, man! Come on.
It was pre Tom Brady and everything. That was Drew Bledsoe Patriot. Like I said, I was 12 years old, man. We're talking like 1999, something like that. But I grew up around a bunch of different gamblers and things like that. So it's always been a part of my life, man. But I was always that kid in high school. Like we didn't have all these apps and iPhones and things like that. I'm not that old, man. I graduated in 06, but really the iPhone didn't come out till 09.
Well, you were pre-app. You're right. Not pre-cellular, but pre-app.
I'm a part of that weird generation that like got meshed perfectly. Because we still played outside and drank out of the water hose, but we could come inside at night and play Xbox. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So it was a pretty cool deal there. And I was always that kid in high school, man, that since we didn't have all these pools and stuff available, I had like paper brackets printed out, man. And I was the one that ran it for the whole damn high school. And I'd have like 150 brackets, $5 a piece of water money, like I'm selling dope on the corner.
Fucking hey, bro.
I have teachers, I have vice principals and stuff, coaches, and all kinds of people in this damn thing. And that was always a lot of fun. But boy, you talk about it's a lot easier nowadays since ESPN does the scoring for you, bro.
Oh my gosh,
I spent more time scoring brackets than I did on my homework back then.
It's funny that you mentioned about the brackets, right? My father-in-law told me that he would play fantasy football back in the day, right?
Okay,
by hand.
You kept your own points.
Yeah, your own points. It was
all I bet you don't think there was ever some discrepancies there.
Oh my God! Based on the stats from the newspaper, there was no internet either. He was playing with his buddies.
Get a newspaper. Let's go.
I'm like, holy shit! I was like, damn, Kenny. I'm like, I was like, are you serious? Again, he goes. I was he was the league commissioner for like 2 years, and that's the league commissioner's job. You know what I'm saying? It's to like keep that. I was like,
all that, bro.
Yeah,
he was like, with your actual job.
Yeah, he was. That's what he said. He's a very smart guy. He's really good at math. He's a retired IBMer. You know what I'm saying, dude? This guy has 15 patents in his names that he created for IBM. Very smart guy. But he goes but it's one of the most tedious shit I've ever done in my life.
Dude, I bet. And you stared at for so long. You're doing like 10, 12, 16 people. How many people in the league? It started your eyes go cross and everything else, man. I'm telling you now. I don't want to hear any of them call us degenerates because if they was playing shit like that, that's degeneracy at its finest, and I respect it.
Unbelievable. Let's talk some March Madness here, baby. Let's go to the Swede. You're probably not gonna see it that well from here, but just go.
Let's go. It's good. It looks good.
You can look all right. So let's talk about some of these matchups in the Sweet 16 here, right? And then let's kind of give them, let's just give our prediction of who you think is winning, not and whatnot. And that's it. We're just gonna go that way. Let me see. Shout out here to Supporting Electron. I don't just check the bracket, and I have the most possible points remaining, and is looking good. All right, there we go.
That's one of our guys right there, man. He's from over at sportspicks.locals.com.
There we go.
Game on every morning. Supporting's a sharp dude, man. He's leading that bracket pool right now. Still,
wow.
I don't know if he's leading, but I know he has the most possible points available left. That's a sharp dude right there. Good to see you, man. Glad to see you in here. Shout
out to Support Electron. Appreciate you. Cricket, what do you think? Auburn, Michigan, 1-5. I know they're one of these that Michigan has been, Michigan had a shaky first matchup, and then they kind of had a better Elite 32. What do you think against Auburn?
That Auburn team right there, man. That's a strong squad.
They are.
I love Bruce Pearl. I have a special place in my heart for Bruce Pearl. Was a coach of my balls. Got screwed out of that and wound up getting fired and moving on. I pull for Bruce Pearl anytime he's playing anybody but the Vols, man. I love what that guy does and what he gets out of his team. I think Janai Broome is a stud. I think it's weird to me. I don't understand how that guy's as good as he is. He's going to be that dude when he's like late 40s and stuff. He's going to be out in the park just absolutely working kids with his old school, like 1970s style of basketball. He's like a big man that hardly – I mean, I know he can dunk and all that. You don't see that guy dunk much, man. You see him fading away like Larry laying it off the glass.
He has good footwork.
Yeah, he does have great footwork, dude. And I really like Chad Baker-Mazzara. I do think he's kind of a punk, but I think he's a hell of a basketball player. I wish he'd just play ball sometimes, man, and not give me all the theatrics and stuff because the dude's a hell of a ball player, defensively and offensively. I love the young freshman in Pettiford there. I think that guy is going to be a future NBA star. Michigan, though, you've got some Final Four experience on this team. Vladislav Golden there. A lot of folks don't remember, but that young man was a freshman on that Florida Atlantic team that made a run to the Final Four.
Oh, get out of here. I didn't know that.
And so, you got some Final Four experience there. You got a team that's been hot of late, played very, very well. Won the Big Ten tournament. I really expected to see this team, and they showed me a lot in that last game against A&M, man. They were really getting worked all over the floor. A&M had every reason to make them lay down, and Michigan stung right there, scrappy bunch, fighting back a little bit at a time. And next thing you knew, they were up 4 or 5 points after being down 10, wound up winning that game by double digits. So that was a gritty performance for me, but how much energy and all that did you exhaust in that comeback effort right there? And now you got to go against what's been, if not the best, one of the best teams in the country all year long. I do think it'll be closer than people expect. I don't know if I'd lay the points with Auburn. The Michigan team feels like they're playing well, and I know they're going to be a tough out, but I can't see them. I think it ends for Michigan right here, man. I'm going to take Auburn on to the Elite Eight right here.
Me too. I mean, the fact that it's like I said, it's one of those years that it's weirdly all the chalk right now is in the Sweet 16, which is usually at this point, but there's a couple of 1s and 2s are not there. And I don't think this, like I said, this year we were talking off camera, is a little different. So I'm with you with Auburn advancing to the Elite Eight. What about Ole Miss and Michigan? Ole Miss, again, this is I want to, before we move on, I am not betting a single NCAA parlay any longer. Fuck this shit. You know what I mean? I've been killing it in the NBA, cricket. You know what I'm saying? I've been killing it in the fucking NBA.
Somebody has, because it's been kicking my face in.
I don't know if you've been following, but I've been posting my slips in Price Picks, Hard Rock. I went into a nice 5 straight over 3-leg parlay, Price Pick slips, because I do minimum 3, sometimes 4. And I've been great. I'm having my best NBA month so far this season. But every time I fucking bet a single NCAA game, and I've been like that all year, man, I need to get better. I'm done. I think I'm done betting in the tournament.
Dude,
but Iowa Cyclones here fucked me up, man.
I was thinking a lot of folks. I really surprised me, talking about this Ole Miss team. This has been a team that, they didn't close great. They lost something like 4 of their last 6 regular season games. Wound up bowing out to Auburn in that SEC tournament, but it was a respectable loss, man. 62-57 there. They were in that game. Actually, I believe led for a little bit of it, but Ole Miss has been a top 25 team all year long. I love Chris Beard, the coach down there. He was a guy that was at Texas Tech a few years ago. Wound up getting the job at Texas due to his great runs. I think he went to the Final Four one year at Texas Tech, actually, and then got the job at Texas. Didn't work out there. Landed on his feet last year at Ole Miss, and the guy's done a great job. He really, really has. And this team, I did not expect to be here. I really thought they would bow out in the first game to North Carolina after that team came in after the first 4 win. So I didn't think we'd be seeing them around here, but I'll tell you what makes this team so good, man. They don't turn the damn ball over. Okay, they only turn the ball over 12.9% of the time. That's 3rd best in the entire country. They've got an efficient offense. They shoot a decent effective field goal percentage, about middle of the road there. But they shoot nearly 35% from 3, over 50% from 2-point range, and they shoot almost 74% as a team from free throw range. And you're looking there, overall offense, top 25 in the country. And I feel like I love Sparty. My guy Buku, my best friend in the world, man. He's a big-time Michigan State fan. Been that way since we were kids. It's always hard for me to pull against Sparty unless they're playing my balls. I think I'm going to wind up taking Ole Miss in this thing, man. I don't know. I got a funny feeling right here. And I think we get an all-SEC Elite 8 in this one. And y'all going to tell me SEC bias. I know y'all going to scream all that. But I just think this Ole Miss team's got something figured out right now, man. And they're giving some teams some problems. And Michigan State didn't look great last night against New Mexico.
No, they did not.
You saw a bunch of athletic team that can play a similar style, give them some problems. And so now you have the athletes, and they do have some depth. They got some guys that have gotten healthy, and I think you got a great head coach there, which obviously we know Tom Izzo's Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time anyway. But Chris Beard is also one of those guys that may wind up finding his name in the Hall one day too, because the guy's done a lot at a very young age. And I like what he's done with this team when I thought they were down and out, man. So they did beat my balls the second to last game of the regular season. So this is a team that's capable of beating anybody.
Plus 130 money line. You're confident in that?
I like it, man. I'm going to wind up taking that, and I'll tell you, I think you may. What is the line right now? Let me look at that. 2.5.
2.5 plus 3 in the Hard Rock. So it's between 2.5 and 3.
And so I think that line is probably, it may wind up moving down some. I don't think it's going to move out. I'm showing plus 136 right now.
Okay.
You got plus 130. I think it winds up moving down. Really.
Okay.
I think it gets closer to a picket. Probably wind up somewhere around plus 114, plus 120 for Ole Miss on the money line. So you can get the value if you bet it right now. But in that turn, that doesn't mean just because I said that, y'all don't mean it's going to happen.
No.
Now, if it does move out a little bit, you'll get a better number on this later. So that's kind of the gamble you have with waiting or placing the bet early. But I do like Ole Miss in this spot.
Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Cricket.
They're all right, brother. They're all right. I'll keep rolling with it, man. You're good.
Yeah, it is, guys. But I'm telling you, it's the other one. So one thing, Ole Miss, I didn't have a problem. My pick, I thought they were going to beat North Carolina. Now, I thought that we're not going to beat Iowa State, but, again, who's wrong?
Right. Now, I mean, like I said, they've, and the thing about it for me is that in both of those wins, I don't feel like they were ever in any trouble. They blew up the doors off against Iowa State. They were up by 26 at one point. But that North Carolina game, even though they only won it, 8-10 points, something like that, it still felt like they were in control the entire time and never in danger of losing that game. And I really thought North Carolina's offense would give them a lot of problems, and they didn't. So I like the way Chris Beard's able to scheme up. Now you don't have, this is one of those things where you get to prepare for 4 days, versus having to play one day in between. That's where you have problems. Now you got to turn around and you have 1 day to prepare for a team like Auburn. if that winds up being what happened, that's where it gets a little tough. But if you got 4 days, man, and I know Izzo's going to bring a great game plan too, but I think Ole Miss has the athletes to compete with this Michigan State team.
Oh man, the damn dog's already. Now he's over here next to me. I don't know if you ever.
He's
see him
all
here.
right, bro. He ain't bothering nobody. He can hang
fun.
out, man.
Yeah, he's my boy. This is Pretzel right here, bro. Oh, don't
What's
look at
going on, Pretzel?
What's going on, Pretzel? Don't get angry at me,
Hey, man, it ain't no different than in the morning show, man. We got Will's kids hanging everywhere, man.
You know what I mean? I felt bad because where I do my show, it's in the in the guest room, right? I felt we had to like take everything down, and so my in-laws can stay there because they came here Saturday night and they left on Sunday. But then I set up everything, and I got to take it all back down again, right? And if I'm going to do something before somebody go home, I was like, and then I felt bad for them. They've been alone all day, except for like a brief 20 minutes where my neighbor came in, let them out. I was like, so, I'm going to do the show from down here so they could see me because if not, they'll be like on fire, bro. These bastards have so much separation anxiety, dude. It's not even funny.
Bro, my parents' dogs are the same way, bro. I get it. I get it, man. What up, B Mac? How you doing, sir? Good to see you.
Oh, B McCormick, what up?
Good to see y'all, man. Hope everybody doing all right. We're just talking a little college hoops, man.
Yeah, man. Florida, UConn, man. Florida, I'm sorry, Florida and Maryland. My bad. I said Florida and UConn, man. That was that was a tough matchup. Well coached game, I think, here, and we'll talk a little about Danny Hurley there at the end. But they heated up at the end, made a comeback. What do you think against Maryland? Maryland also had a close against Colorado State. I like Florida here, man, because I have Florida going all the way to the title game.
I think we bet the damn over here, folks.
Right?
I do. I think we bet the over, and I think this is one I do feel pretty good about, that it is not going down. I feel like it is going to go up a few points, and it's at 155.5 right now, minus 115 to the over. That's on DraftKings.
Yes.
But I do think it's going to wind up going up. I think it winds up ending. It wouldn't blow my mind to see this game by tip-off on Thursday get to somewhere around 159.5 to 160.5. It would not blow my mind at all to see it go that high. And I think right now you can get value by getting it early. I think you could even, like, instead of laying the minus 115, you can take it to 156.5, which is probably minus 105. They do weird shit like that. It may be the minus 110. They do. But I think you're okay taking it up to anything up to 157.5 right now, and you'll get extra plus money on that because I think it's going to wind up moving past that, and you'll have to lay the juice. So if you want to bet it, I think you bet it right now. And also another one, go ahead and bet it because it's going to go up, and we ain't there yet. But I'm just telling y'all because I think this line's going to go up for days. But bet the over in Alabama BYU game. We'll get to that more.
Okay. All right.
But Maryland, I really don't know, dude. It's one of those games where I think we see Florida blow the doors off in this one.
Okay.
I think Maryland. It's all hype. That was a great finish last night. Derek Queen, the freshman, shout out to that guy. He is an absolute monster, man. That was an old school take to the rack off the glass for the win. But I think that may have been, like I said, Florida got scared.
They blew their wad there. I think
Florida
got scared
yesterday, and Florida doesn't normally have those back-to-back games where they shoot as bad as they did yesterday. That was my thing for Florida. Can this Florida team? I know they're going to have a game where they don't shoot it very well, and can they get through that game? If they get through that game, because they usually then they'll go on a little tear, and they might have 3 or 4 games in a row now where they just shoot over 60% from the damn field like they've done before this year. So it kind of scares me a little bit for anybody who's got to play Florida the next couple of games after seeing the close one with UConn, because I think they're going to be geared up, ready to go Thursday. And I think you're okay taking the over, and I think you're okay taking the Gators minus 6.5.
Okay, yeah, that's what we got right now, minus 6.5. Minus 110. You could probably play with that also if you want a little bit. So let me see here. What do you think? Texas Tech and Arkansas, right? I mean, Arkansas beat St. John's. It was a really good game, kind of back and forth, but Arkansas kind of toughed them. I mean, you had two great coaches, two legendary coaches going at it. Does it feel like an upset here, man? Arkansas against Texas Tech, or you think Arkansas had their moment?
My original and B-Mac, I haven't got to check those yet, man. I've been wide open today too, brother. So I don't know about that yet. But this Arkansas team, my original bracket before the games were played, I took Arkansas to this round, but I had them losing to Texas Tech. What I've seen out of this team, I love Boogie Flan. I love that guy. I love DJ Wagner. You got Jonas Adu playing there, one of my guys. He was a ball. I know I'm not one of those guys that gets upset when guys hit the transfer portal and go look for a spot. I'm not one of those cats, man. I always appreciate those guys for what they gave to our program and wish them the best along the way. So I love seeing them go be successful at other spots. So you got big Jonas Adu up there. I would love to see them, and I don't know if it's going to happen. It's getting real close to time because he's been up in the air. But Adu Thero was their leading scorer before getting injured earlier in the season. He's been out for a little minute now, but it's been close on the fence whether he's going to come back the last couple games.
Okay.
I'm thinking now maybe this stretch, Sweet 16, you need that guy. And if he can come back and play, that gives Arkansas another big-time scorer, another big-time post presence. And I just feel Texas Tech here, it's one of those teams I feel like I'm kind of lulling on. This is why this game right here for me is the biggest one up in the air. Because I haven't watched a lot of Texas Tech early on because the first game wasn't exciting at all.
No.
The Drake game, I didn't watch a minute of that damn game because there was way too much other good games on.
That's right.
And so I haven't got to watch them a lot. I have some this year, and I made some money off of them this year. And I do think they're a great basketball team. But for some reason, this Arkansas team, and I do kind of feel like maybe I'm SEC biasing now, but that tough, rigorous schedule for that conference, man, looks like they're some of these teams, man.
I mean, Arkansas beat two really good teams, right? You know what I mean? Kansas and St. John's. Yeah. While Texas Tech, mediocrely.
Kind of walking the park. But, once again, how strenuous was that on you?
Exactly.
Texas Tech kind of coasted. They ain't really had to use any extra, miles on the guys' legs. Your starters are probably fresher. I don't know, man. I think I like Calipari in this one, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Calipari, man, and Patino went at it. It was a classic throwback matchup in the last game. So
I'll tell you this right now, man. Let me check this real quick. But I'll tell you what a good bet might be to reach Final Four. Let me see. Arkansas is go put you a little $5 bill on this right now.
Okay.
Arkansas to make the Final Four.
Really?
Plus $8.50. $5 gets you about 45 or 50 back in the account, man. It's worth a good little sweat, and that's one of the teams right there that I'm gonna bet it here in just a minute as soon as we get done with the show and all that.
Yeah, I'm right behind you. Right behind you after that.
It's weird. Sometimes, like when I was streaming like this, like let me do it on StreamYard, but like some of the streaming servers, like Zoom and stuff, when I'm talking to the boys, for whatever reason, it won't pin my location. It tells me that I can't put it in. I got to close all the app, and I was like, well, shit, man.
Oh, when you really?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Government and all that.
Big brother, bro. Big brother.
Right.
Now, the next game, I don't have to even ask you, man. All right. Tennessee and Kentucky.
Dude, this is the one I wanted. This is the one I wanted. Okay. They don't get it twisted. This Kentucky team's a good basketball team, man.
Yeah.
Got a good coach. I like Mark Pope. I think he's a good dude. I think he's a great guy for that program following behind Calipari. I think he's going to have success there, dude. They've had some tough luck with injuries this year. Jackson Robinson going down for the season. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the last game he played was the first half against us when they beat us up there the second game. But that guy's a hell of a player. But they still got studs all over the place, man. Old Kobe Brea, that guy can shoot it from all over the damn floor. I like Atega Oweh. That's a big old boy down in the post you got to be ready for. And, Kentucky got talent all up and down. There's 4 and 5 stars. They got a couple young freshman dudes that have been solid. One guy I think is the all-time leading high school scorer in Kentucky history. I mean, like 5,000 career high school points. That's nuts, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, we got to show up to play. I wanted this. I knew either way, whoever we got, Kentucky or Illinois, it was going to be a team we'd already seen. We played Illinois one time up in Champaign earlier this season. We beat them on the last second buzzer beater, man. 66-64, I think it was. Kentucky's got us twice. They got us in Knoxville, and they got us in Kentucky. And I'll be honest with you, we didn't really show up for either one of them damn games. They really dominated. It wasn't like we were in those games and got a tough beat at the end. Mm-hmm. They handled us in both those games. So, for me, it's all in front of you, Tennessee. I love my Vols. Y'all know that, man. It'll kill me if we lose, but you can't blame nobody but yourself. Come on, you got the one you wanted. I know this got to be in the back of your mind. As a senior at Tennessee, you don't want to leave with 2 straight losses to Kentucky, and now it would only be fitting. We've never made a Final Four, man. Never made a Final Four in the history of the school. We've been close and had some heartbreaking losses in the Elite Eight, and it would only be fitting for the year that we make a run and get to the Final Four. We got to go through Kentucky, and then I'd love to see Purdue upset Houston up there. And then because Purdue has been our fucking nemesis in this damn thing for a decade now. So I would love to see us get Kentucky, Purdue to get Houston, and us get them in the Elite Eight, and to get by both of those teams to get to our first Final Four in school history. Man, that would be a picture-perfect Disney movie for me.
I know you want to play Purdue instead of Houston if you get past this round, right? You know,
like I said, the only reason I want to do that is because the revenge factor. The fan in me wants to see Tennessee and Houston play because I think they've been 2 of the top teams in the country. They're the top 2 defenses. They're 1A and 1B as far as the best defense. What happened here? Are we back? Are we there?
We should be back. Was it? Hey, you back?
Are we good?
You see me? Yeah, I don't know what happened here, man. All of a sudden, you left and I came back. Get the hell out!
I don't know what was going on, man.
Big brother is fucking watching, bro.
Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, what I was saying was, man, like I said, it's hard to beat a good team 3 times. This is the matchup I wanted as a Tennessee fan because I get tired of hearing them damn Kentucky fans And so
even when they suck and they're not that good, I mean, not suck, but when not as dominant, they still have that, thing about them the way that we're Kentucky, man.
they're blue blood, man.
Yeah,
They are
exactly.
blue blood. They're one of the OGs, one of the greatest programs in history. They've earned all that. Dude.
Yep.
They have. They have had some legendary players come through that program, legendary coaches, all that stuff. We all know that. But the thing is, Tennessee right now, it could be our time. This is a game. This is one of those games. Can you get over that hump?
That's right.
Are you here? We know we've been with the third straight Sweet 16. We've done this. This is not anything new for Tennessee basketball. But are you the big dog Are you the big dog on the block now?
That's right.
We'll see.
In the words of Carlos, right? Vamos Vols. So
Vamos Vols. That's
go,
right, baby. So we'll see there. But like I said, I think 4.5 right now. I want to bet I think you bet the over in that one too.
144.5. I was just going to tell you. I know that's it, that under, man. It's one of those that calls your name, right? Not that under, the total calls your name to kind of bet it over, right?
Let's actually pump the brakes for a minute, because I do think Tennessee. I do think that you will see from Tennessee one of the best defensive performances that they have had all year long. I do think that. So let's just pump the brakes. Leave the total alone. It could be a weird game. It's close. Maybe gets to overtime, and that winds up getting you over too. So don't bet the under, but don't bet the over either, because I think Tennessee is going to show up focused, ready to go.
Maybe the under on Kentucky.
Maybe the team total under. Hey, that's not a bad bet. There you go.
Maybe that.
I love when you find those obscure ones like that, bro.
Right, man. I mean, it just it makes a little bit of sense, right? Based on the play.
Not you say that. I'm actually I'm gonna roll with that, and I'll give you the shout out and the credit where credit is due.
All right,
if I do that, that's my favorite bet of the Tennessee game is Kentucky. Let me see what it is. They got it listed.
Let's take a look and see what it is. I
don't want to give y'all a bad number.
Let me see. Team total for Kentucky is 70.5. That's what I have.
70.5. I like Kentucky under 70.5. I don't think they get to 70.
All right. Holy crap. There we go, man. There we go. You already called Houston and Purdue. Now, from a fan standpoint, you want Purdue to win for Tennessee's, if Tennessee wins the other game. Now, overall, I think Houston is such a damn good team. Like you said, I think Tennessee and Houston have been two of the top best teams in the entire season, right? That will be a complete juggernaut kind of matchup if they do. But I don't know, man. I think Purdue's magic stops here. I think Houston takes this one. Nice. McNeese stays had a nice story. Shout out to what is it? Amir Khan, Aura, who is the first non-athlete to have an NIL deal. The guy has made like $100,000 already. Buffalo Wild Wings and a bunch of
different McNeese.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Their equipment manager. Hey man, I think Houston is way too loaded for this. What do you think?
Oh yeah, dude. I do.
Right.
Much like Florida, Houston got theirs, and they shouldn't have had their damn scare. We were up by 14 in the second half, cruising to our 3-unit winner on the -5.5, and somehow they fooled around and won that damn thing by 5. But it was that 5 can be deceiving because it was 80. Let's see, what was it? 79-76. When Gonzaga had the ball. And I shout out to Battle, man. I like Battle. I hated to see it in for the kid like that. Had a great college career.
Yeah.
And he's a player. He's a hell of a player, and I hope whatever he does going forward, man, wish him the best. But that was a tough spot. You got a stifling defense. Like I said, I think Tennessee and Houston have been 1A and 1B as far as best defense in the country go all year long. And he just got a tough spot there, so that was a big-time stop for them. But I think they kind of got that little hiccup out of the way. They got complacent, were coasting, and it almost got their ass bit. And I don't think you'll see that out of this team now. And Purdue's going to have some trouble scoring the ball.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Purdue's going to have a tough time scoring the ball. I think they have to scare against Gonzaga, who traditional, they play tough, right? Whether they win or lose in the tournament.
Regardless, out to the Zags. Them boys, and the streak just got ended. But them boys made 9 straight Sweet 16 appearances. That is an incredible feat in men's college basketball, especially from what is not a traditional power conference.
Nope.
Mark Few is a future Hall of Famer, legendary.
Absolutely,
coach,
man.
Guy gets the most out of his guys every year because they weren't. Let's don't get it twisted about this Gonzaga team. They were not having a great year, man. They were expected to be a top 10 team, top 5 team all year long. Had a tough little stretch there in the middle of the season. That's some injuries and things like that. But that happens. But Mark Few got those guys playing at a high level at the right time. They waxed that Georgia team in the first round, and they came out and they gave Houston all they wanted. They never laid down. They never quit to the last second. And you should give credit where credit is due because that's an incredible run, 9 straight Sweet 16s. I think Houston is actually the current leader with 6 right now.
No, it's good. I mean, like I said, they play everybody tough. Since Gonzaga, have made that turn, even before they made Sweet 16s, Sweet 16 placements like that, they would always play everybody tough. They'll play before they were like a big, before they got into the limelight, right? They were always playing.
Dude, I remember the first time I ever saw Gonzaga on a bracket, with those brackets I'm telling you about earlier that I'm carrying around. I was like, "What the hell is this, man?"
I know it was a tough first out.
What is a Gonzaga? I had no idea where it was. Couldn't tell you. No. And they came out, and I believe they upset Wake Forest that year.
That's right, man. I don't even know where Gonzaga is. Put it that way, bro. Is it Georgia? I mean, it's in Chicago somewhere or Illinois. See, look at that shit, dude. That's I'm bad. Oh my god, Alabama would be. Yeah, Alabama
pretty good. We just talked about to make 9 streets with 16. You still don't know where they're from, man.
No, man, I still don't know where they're from. That's what I'm saying. Alabama, BYU, Alabama, right? I mean, I know BYU. It's they beat Wisconsin, which then everybody was shocked, but I think Alabama kind of stops the party here. What do you think?
I think this is going to be an absolute shootout. I think they're going to score 200 points in this game, or 100
over.
I could see Alabama getting to the 100 mark for I think the 5th or 6th time this year. They've gotten to 90, I think, 11 times, but they've also allowed 80 something like 10 or 11 times. And BYU can shoot it. They like to play up tempo like Alabama does. This is what makes Alabama games over so enticing.
Okay.
Because for those of y'all that listen to the morning show and everything, I've told y'all this plenty of times, but they like to get shots up in the first 7 to 10 seconds of the shot clock. They're going to shoot about 45 to 48% of their shots from three-point range. And they also shoot one of the best clips in the country from inside the arc to about almost 60% from two-point range. So they get a lot of good high percentage looks. They got a lot of athletic guys. I like Nate Oates. He's a great coach and gets his style of play is a little different than most folks, but he gets his guys. He recruits the right guys to play in that system, and they've done very well there. And so I think this one for BYU, I do think they're going to score, and I do think maybe in this one, best bet, maybe BYU team total over
85.5.
And that's what I'm saying. It may be, I don't know. I would like it more if it's about 81 or 82 and a half. 85 and a half, I could totally see it to be like 185 final or something.
I mean, for like you said, for Alabama, 89 and a half at minus 125, that tells you something, right?
Okay, that's my best bet. I like Alabama team total over 89 and a half. I do think Alabama gets to 90 again, even in a losing effort. I mean, the only way BYU wins the game, it's going to be like 200-point game or something.
Man.
And I don't think that it's not their style. They're not really tradition. They don't really use that, and they don't have the athletes to match up man-to-man with Alabama. So it's kind of hard to slow them down the way like St. Mary's did. That's just their style. That's what they do. They tried to muck it up, and Alabama still got 80 on.
It's crazy because the 200-point game, it's rare this time of year, right? You know what I mean?
It really, you have to have these perfect storms come together with these teams like this that play because, like I said, BYU is a similar team. They like to get up and down the floor too, shoot a lot of threes, and they shoot a good clip. And I just think we're going to see a lot of extra possessions. Could be one of those things where, well, once again, you got a closer spread here. I do think Alabama winds up covering the spread, but I think that you could wind up having the overtime factor. You could be one of those things, you get to overtime, Alabama still cover the damn spread. Okay. That happens. You know what I'm saying? But I do think it's going over, man. And I think you bet it now because I think it winds up getting I'd say it gets to 180 and a half. I bet it goes up 5 damn points between now and
175 is the over and under on here. So you think they're giving us some a little bit of space there?
I already took it. I took it at 174 and a half when it came when it opened up. So I bet 3 units on it. And I'll probably wind up. I want to see what it does because, like I said, y'all, just because I'm telling you things, I think it's going to do this doesn't mean it's going to necessarily do that. But if it does what I think it's going to do, once it gets to about 178 and a half, if it's there by say Wednesday, I'll probably bet it again. Okay. Because I have had those before where I miss them and get it at like 181 and a half and land on 181. So
I think I'm going to jump on it today.
I really don't think this is going to be the case in this one. I bet they break 190 in this damn thing.
At 175, I think after I'm done here, I'm definitely that's one I'm gonna go ahead and definitely hit that real quick after we're done here. Let me just bookmark it here. Now that I got that app open, you know what I'm saying?
Make sure, bro.
Let's go into the slip section there. There you go. So I don't.
I may have to do that, man. I don't like to. I release Crick's picks every day, the day of. I may have to do a little special thing tomorrow where I give y'all some early lines to snag the ones that I think are going to move. Yeah. We won't put them on. I won't rank the results. I only do that on the ones I actually put on the picks, but I'll tell you the ones I think are going to move, and you do what you want with it.
There we go. That's all you could do, man. Provide information and then use your best judgment. That's what betting is all about, right?
I'm a man of the people, bro.
There we go. Duke and Arizona, man. One of my favorite matchups here, man. I know they got Duke at 8.5. They've been very, very dominant. To me, they are the most talented team We all know about Cooper Flagg. This kid is, unbelievable. He's a hell of a player. Definitely might be a number one pick. I don't know.
He's a franchise changer.
He is. That dude is. I mean, he's just, it's not so much a scoring, man. This guy is what you call the generational type of player right now.
He does it all.
What's up?
He has a twin?
No, I did not know he had a twin. I know he played with his older brother.
Don't look anything alike. His twins, like I went to school with some buddies like this, where one of the guys, they were twins, but he was a really big guy, and the brother was a much smaller dude. And apparently, my buddy Buku's dad was telling me yesterday that apparently his brother is like really small, and I guess they have an older brother. Both of them are like small dudes, don't play any sports. And I was like, Cooper sucked every last gene out of the gene pool, man.
Dude, he was a freshman, right? And because he has an older brother as well. They played in the same high school team, and dude, they won the championship game. They won the title. They were number one team, and they won it with Cooper Kupp.
He's a freshman in high school, and he's like the leading scorer on the team, MVP of the tournament. Yeah.
He was, man.
People just feel different, bro.
Yeah. This Duke Arizona. I know Arizona say they're ready. They had a tough matchup against Oregon. So I don't know. I the spread at 8.5 does scare me a little bit, but
don't let it.
Yeah, right. I think it's gonna be just like Baylor, right? It's gonna be 10 minutes. 10 minutes of close games, and then after that, Duke's gonna run away with it.
Duke by double digits. This is one you're probably okay to. It's safe to watch. I don't think they're going to let it get out too much because I don't think they'll let it get above 10.5. That's a big, 9.5. I feel like is a key number in college basketball because you do see a lot of 10 to 8 points. And I don't think it's going to go out past 10.5. So you might can wait a little bit. Maybe it even goes down some. I don't care what it does. It can go down to 2.5, and I'm gonna bet Duke. I'll hammer it every time it goes down a point. I'm gonna hammer it again. But I think Duke wins this one, coast with this one by double digits. This Arizona team, I've liked them. I've kind of rode them this year some. They had a tough start to the season and then got it together, much like that Gonzaga team. But I've seen them struggle shooting the ball sometimes, and I've seen them struggle against more athletic teams. And I don't think they've faced a more athletic team this season than they're going to face in this one. And I think Duke will be geared up, ready to go. I love John Shire. I don't think the transition from Mike Krzyzewski could have been any better than anybody else. And I think John Shire done a great job and will continue to do so. And the Duke's just going to keep kind of like the damn Green Bay Packers where they just recycle Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Duke's going to recycle Hall of Fame coaches, man. And I think Arizona's in trouble in this one, dude.
It's funny, dude. I mean, the Duke is what you call, you got the superstar, but you also got a bunch of really, really good players. Eddie Roach, that their center is nasty. Great shooting with Knipple. I mean, they have it all. They built a really good team around Cooper Flagg. I'm sorry, because he finds these players. It's beautiful to watch. It's like watching an NBA roster.
Knipple would be an absolute star on about 85% of the teams in the country.
Yeah.
That guy is really next level, and you'll probably see that next year. Probably that guy that takes over because he's going to come back.
He's going to be a steal
time to shine
in the draft because he fits today's NBA game.
I don't know that if I'm him, I don't go. I don't. Does he? He don't have to yet, right?
No, he doesn't have to yet. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to.
And so I'm like, if I'm him, I don't go. They're going to pay you enough money in NIL.
And
take a chance on that. Come back, dominate right there, play in big time games next year. And because Cooper Flagg ain't come back, we all know that. He all play shadow games.
Yeah, that's true, man.
We know that ain't happening.
No, that'll be the stupidest. That would be the stupidest things you could do, right? Right now, you have the
honestly, this day and age, they can pay you as much in NIL money and shit. It's really all who wants to write the check. So
you just don't want to risk the injury. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Strike the iron while it's hot, bro. Go ham.
Like that, it's been his dream all along to compete at the highest level. Like he's done this, he's dominated there. Especially if he was to win a national championship, then there's nothing left to play for.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, but I think Knipple's an absolute stud. I actually went to Cameron Indoor one years ago. This was like 09 or something.
I'm so envious, bro.
It was the year it was either I think it was 09 or it was the year they won the national championship. John Shire was on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mr. Illinois,
like Mason Plumlee, Miles Plumlee, all those guys. I think Chris was it Chris Duhon?
You had the dude from he was from Oregon, Siegler in that team.
What about
Kyle Siegler was there? Who was their best player too in the team?
Yes, he was there. I think Chris Duhon was there.
I think Duhon was
all my years were together. I
do
know for a fact that John Shire and the Plumlee brothers were there, and it was the year they won the national championship. But I went up there, man, because I'm driving around in Durham, North Carolina, and I'm thinking there's this big arena, this big stadium.
It's small.
Bro, it looks like it's smaller than my high school gym.
Yeah, it's small.
And like all of a sudden, I'm just riding around looking. I'm like, where the hell do I go, man? I figured I'd just see it. And all of a sudden, I see this line. Now, granted, this is like the end of Christmas break, but some of the students ain't even back yet, but they're playing Long Beach State. And I paid $125 a piece.
My gosh,
for the Long Beach State game. Because hell, it ain't that big, man. There ain't that many to get away. But I finally noticed this line of people about 3/4 of a mile down the road waiting to get in this game. And I was like, oh, shit, that must be it. But
Yeah.
I had me a Long Beach State shirt, man. I wore it inside Cameron Indoor, stuck
How
out
much
like a
shit did
third
you
of a
get?
punch bowl sitting right beside the Duke pep band. It was great. The only other people in the place with Long Beach State shirts on were the kids' parents.
And the team.
And the team, yeah, the team and their parents.
That's a bucket list for me, dude. So I'm a big Duke. I mean, I'm a St. John's fan growing up in New York, playing basketball and stuff like that.
Yep.
But I became when I started playing ball, right? Because I played baseball first. When I started playing basketball, right? It was around like the early 1990, 91. And I became a Duke fan because I was a Bobby Hurley fan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I modeled my game after him because I'm a short guy and stuff like that. I was the other guy can shoot. He's not superly fast, but he could get by players. So I kind of like watched him a lot, and that's kind of what I played in my game. So I became a Duke fan because then I was like, oh shit, Grant Hill, Christian Laettner, right, and all that kind of stuff. And that's since then I've always been a Duke fan. Always root for St. John's, but Duke has always been like my diet. And I was like, man, I would love to go to one of the games. I got to do it before I die. I will do that.
Like I said, I'm expecting a big arena. It's not like, and you literally true story. My seats were right behind the goal, right by the pep band and stuff. Like, I'm right there on the action. I could see the dudes sweat on their foreheads. But to get to my seats, you had to walk across the court, dude. I had to walk right beside John Shire warming up. Well, I mean, I'm literally oh, excuse me, bro. Let me get out of your way. But it's just not big enough. And to get people to their seats, you have to walk across the court. By the way, John Shire didn't miss, I think he took probably 25, 30 shots in warm-ups. He didn't miss a single damn one.
That dude was Mr. Illinois, right? He played around the same time with Pat Beverly. They were from the same. They were from the same area, right? I mean, Pat Bev played in the city of Chicago. He was from outskirts, but I remember I think in his podcast, Pat Bev said, that dude, wherever John Shire would get called, I'll be there. He would go in the hood. He would go in the city. He would play against anybody. He didn't care. And it's funny because remember when he was in a high draft pick, but what ended his career in the NBA because he was making a comeback, right? He went down to the G League, went to Europe, got picked up. Dude, on one of the games in a practice, get hits in the eye, done. And he lost eyesight, legally eyesight from one eye, and then he couldn't play basketball ever again.
Awful. That's a bad deal, but I'll be honest.
Best thing that ever happened to him.
It's gonna be the greatest thing that ever happened to him because the career in coaching is gonna be way better than the playing career in the pro.
Oh my gosh.
I watched that guy that night shoot 25 shots, and I'm not talking about layups. I watched him shoot 25 shots from 20 foot or deeper and not miss a damn one of them.
He was good, man. He was really good. It's funny because everybody thought Wojo was going to be like the head coach and, just right place at the right time. Because Shire, as soon as he stopped playing in the NBA, that's how, Krzyzewski was Coach K was like one of those guys that knew talent.
He knew his guy who, once he got him there and all that other stuff had happened and he knew he was going to be focusing on coaching and all that, he knew he had his guy, man. He that's probably the only reason Coach K stayed those last couple years was he knew what he was grooming. He
said, and he stayed probably an extra 2 years because he knew that, I'm going to make sure that, I leave him on the right stage here. So shout out to John Shire. He's a hell of a player.
A hell of a player, hell of a coach, but hell of a dude. I like
hell of a dude.
And I think it's Duke by double digits, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, folks, you got your Sweet 16 there, man. Do what you wish. That's our takes, man. Those are our predictions. And let me show you. Did you Danny Hurley? And we're gonna spend too much time on this, but listen, Danny Hurley really I like the brother, but he just kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Kind of rubs me the wrong way too, dude.
And let's go ahead. And of course,
what he did.
Yeah.
Again, did you see it? The little clip.
I got the video for you. We're gonna do the after the game, and then what he said to the reporters because he's kind of a hypocrite, bro. You know what I mean?
He's saying this. We talked about this in the morning show this morning. I didn't have a problem with this, but he's saying this. Obviously, these games are played. You have 2 games. There's another game. The Baylor and Duke game was coming on after this. They have to wait for them to get off the court so they can go warm up.
Yep.
Baylor's standing here in this tunnel waiting for UConn to walk through so they can go out on the court get ready for their game.
Yep.
And as Hurley's walking through. Go ahead.
Let's go. Ready? Let's hear it.
I hope they don't do that to you, man. I hope they don't do that to you, man.
It's a childish temper tantrum.
Y'all that may not have been able to hear that, what he said was when he walked through, and word for word, he says, "I hope the refs don't fuck you like they fucked us. I hope they don't do that to you, Baylor." He's telling that, for one, I don't. There's a time and a damn place. You want to go sit here at this damn press conference? You went here and bawled your eyes out like a little bitch. I'm all about the sentimental part of it. I know you got
You made it a Big East game.
but he
kind
of bitched out in that spot right there, especially after acting like this just a few minutes before. You want to go out there and you want to say your piece or whatever, do that. But you don't say that to those young men and get that even in their head when they're about to prepare for one of the biggest moments of their life. That's not fair to those guys, and it's not fair to your players as they're sitting there listening to you, and you're not showing them to be a role model, man. You take the loss. You deal with it. Sometimes in sports, most times in sports, you're going to lose, and you'll learn a lot more from the losses than you will the wins. I promise you. For those of you kids out there, you will learn a lot more from the losses than you will the wins, and sometimes you got to take it. It wasn't your day, man. You just won back-to-back national championships. You won 13 NCAA tournament games in a row.
Yeah.
Like, it happens, bro. You had it. You had it in the bag, and you let it slip away. You got beat by a better team.
Yep.
Own it.
He got out coach, I think, at the end of the day. And look, it's one thing about being, tough, old school kind of mentality, as opposed to being a little bitch. And this is short.
That felt to me a little bitchy.
Exactly. This is more a little bitchy entitlement, kind of like, attitude, right? Like,
we're you get those calls. We're the two-time national champions. You're supposed to yada yada. That don't mean shit.
Yeah.
That's old news, bro. All them dudes were on them. Most of the guys sitting next to you yesterday, most of them weren't even on them damn teams.
That's right.
Or played any minutes of any significance.
And then for them to like realize it, make it about yourself at that moment, then you get the opportunity, and of course you got a crawfish. Let's play this interview, right? Now he's crying like a little bitch.
Which I could see the emotions on your face. I know this was a difficult one. You guys had him. You fought so hard, mucked it up. You said you made it a Big East game. Yeah. What happened down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, they showed their quality. I mean, I thought we played with tremendous honor. I thought we played with the heart of a championship program and a program that's gone back to back. And for a team to end, what we really wanted to do, they were going to have to put us down. And obviously a worthy opponent like that, there's honor in the way we went out.
You mentioned that tournament streak, what you guys have been able to do. What did you tell your team in there?
Just love them. I mean, just love them. This year has been a real battle. We've battled, and we've had to battle, and at times.
I'm gonna stop it right there because he's faking all this shit, right? He's not really fucking crying here. Look at him. There's not a single tear coming down. He's sniffling. This is like the worst, award-winning performance I've ever seen in my life here, bro.
It feels a little bit like, look at me.
Yeah.
It feels a little selfish.
It's about him.
I don't know. I don't know what this team's been through on a personal level. I don't know what these guys have all been through together. I don't want to sit here and put words in his mouth. I don't know how that man feels. I never will. I'll never be in that spot. But to me, to see just the kind of series of events that happened as the game was ending and the way this guy's acted in the past, like I've always had a lot of respect for him as a coach.
Oh, yeah.
All those things. But I will say, with all this little series of events that I've seen through this, I did lose some of that.
Me too.
So
I'm a fan of the family. I know the family well. Following tri-state area, the basketball back in high school in New York, everybody knew who the Hurley family was, right? You know what I'm saying? Back in the early 90s, they were like, both brothers were nasty, bro. You know what I mean? Back in, because New York is huge. New York and Jersey, big rivalry. You know what I'm saying? And they were the only school from Jersey that would just go to New York and take on the best New York teams. You know what I'm saying? Against St. Francis, you know what I'm saying? Lincoln High School, the ones, St. Francis Prep, all the good ones, but you had all these players. And he, he's always had that toughness because he's always been, it was always Bobby, the better player, right? Bobby who got all the limelight, right? And now all of a sudden he's the one getting the recognition because he's done a great job as a coach.
Yeah, where credit's due. What you did was incredible, man. There's not many people that can ever say you count them probably on one hand that have won back-to-back NCAA national championships,
Yeah, but he's taking the whole chip on your shoulder shit and making it about himself instead of the team. This is what he showed me this time.
I never like to see anybody blame them. I talked a lot about the SEC championship game, the referees, but I was very clear when I said I didn't think the reason Florida beat us in that SEC championship game had anything to do with the refs. I thought the game was just poorly officiated. And I think there's times when refs do that and call ticky-tack fouls that aren't fouls, and it winds up taking teams out of their game plan, and it cheats us out of what we should have got to see in the real game with those teams running up down the floor, doing their thing, playing in full bore. But I don't ever like to blame the referees because there were a lot of opportunities in that game that you just let it slip away, man.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I definitely agree with that. So fuck you, Danny Hurley. Moving on. Moving on to the next one. And I'm gonna go with some random stuff here because we're just gonna dedicate some time. It's a slow season. I got to talk about this right here. I am looking forward to the pep talks here. This doesn't really change anything for us, and I'm gonna segue into something else. It has to do with quarterbacks. But man, hey, look, I think it's a good veteran move, right? To put in the locker room, whether Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back or whoever we draft. It's not going to be Cam. It's going to be Shador most likely. But this is good, man. This guy got himself a job, bro. He kind of like what do you call it? He campaigned for it, So
hey, it doesn't matter what jersey Jameis has got on.
Yes,
it's going to be worth the price of admission, whether he gets on the damn field or not, man.
Yeah.
And I do think this,
I think it's good for the locker room.
I don't think you bring Jameis in. Jameis is capable backup and all those things.
Yeah.
He get there and he may get you beat because he may throw damn 3-4 picks, but he may also do some incredible things because the guy is an incredible talent. He just, he's got his moments. I love Jameis.
The elevator doesn't go to the top floor.
Like I said, I love Jameis. He's a former Buck, and I do love the guy. And I don't think this is a terrible move, man.
I think
terrible moves the Giants have made. I don't think you're bringing him in to be like your quarterback game changer and all this stuff. But this wouldn't be a bad dude to have Shador or somebody learn under because I feel like Jameis has matured a lot since his days at Florida State, man. And he's come through. And Jameis is a national treasure. I love this guy.
He is.
Still campaigning, and I always will for this. When Jameis retires, all I want is a Jameis Winston and a Marshawn Lynch podcast at least 3 days a week. All I want y'all to do is get on there and just shoot. I don't even care if y'all talk about football or sports for that matter. Just talk about whatever y'all doing, man. That's what I want to see. But I do think Jameis is good for a locker room because you ain't never going to get no negative vibes from that guy.
No. Look, after he's changed his whole world around. You know what I mean? And he showed it last year. That's the reason why he got on the field also. And yeah, he's the type of guy that can throw 4 touchdowns 1 week and then throw 7 picks the week after. And
100%. The only guy to ever throw 30 touchdowns and 30 same season. Shout out for my Bucks.
Right.
I watched all of them.
That's right, baby. And the good thing is that, I think he was signed, like I said, to bring a little stability to the locker room and that quarterback room for whoever they're going to draft, right? I'd rather have this guy as even to start the season than Aaron Rodgers if we're going to draft a quarterback.
100%, dude.
The money and the drama is not worth it.
When you're sitting in there, I guarantee you they're sitting in the big office up top in the MetLife or whatever. They're sitting there talking about it. I guarantee you when they're having those conversations, they're like, here's the thing we know about Jameis. Jameis, we ain't going to have to pay him as much as we'd have to pay him. And he ain't going to bring no unnecessary bullshit. Like he's always going to be trying to set the good morale. He's always going to be a good teammate. You see him support his guys. I mean, hell, everybody hates them Deshaun Watson, and this guy was crying, ready to go to battle for him, man. That's a good teammate, man.
$8 million.
That's a good brother.
$8 million for 2 years, Cricket, is worth it. It's a fucking bargain to bring somebody in to help.
Because if he never throws a damn pass, he probably will give you a little boost. And even when I'm gonna lie, I'm sorry, brother, but I think it's gonna be a tough next couple seasons.
Oh, it's gonna suck, dude.
Moments, you still have Jameis's crazy ass to laugh at.
With that being said, right, this is the latest mock draft. I'm going to concentrate on quarterbacks because he kind of falls in with the Giants, right? And every time I see, like, again, there's not a single quarterback in this draft, including Cam or Shador, that are going to change a franchise in their first year or maybe the second. This is not like a giving. It's not a CJ Stroud talent.
Either one's Jaden Daniels.
No, Jaden or CJ, right?
Or
CJ. None of them are.
Bo Nix. I don't think either one of them's Bo Nix.
Exactly. And I'll guarantee you this. Both quarterbacks, whoever drafts Cam and Shador, whether the Giants or the Titans, they're going to really bad fucking scenarios. You know what I mean? A lot of like, it's not a stable environment, right? It's going to suck. It's going to really suck for whatever quarterback. It's going to be bad.
People forget that these guys, they didn't get to be top 5 in the NFL draft by losing their whole damn life.
No.
These guys ain't never been into anything. Even in college, a place like Colorado where you lose 4 or 5 games, even then, like they ain't lost, like they about to lose for a little bit. And
that's right.
Sometimes that can break your spirit, man.
Look, for me as a Giants fan, if Cam can fall instead of Shador, that's who I want. I saw Cam play a lot in UM here. Now that I live in South Florida, here's a guy that has, to me, shows that he could digest a playbook. How many has he seen already? How many teams has he played for? I think his mechanics are a little sharper than Shador's. You know what I mean? I see more of if there's somebody that's going to has a better potential, like, again, none of these guys are game changers. I think Cam over Shador. I don't know if I'm wrong or not. But
Cam is the better pure pocket passer. I think if you're going to go with the Shador, I mean, I don't know. They're both good pocket passers. Neither one of them really have. I'm trying to find somebody to compare them to.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like I can't.
I think Jaden Daniels and Lamar are on a different tier because of what they can do with their legs. And I know both these guys are great athletes. And if I had to take one over the other as far as their legs ability to go, I would take Shador Sanders. But Cam does have sticky ability with his legs, the ability to escape the pocket, and he's got a damn rocket. And
he does have an arm.
Yeah, and he's a great passer. But I just, like I said, man, I haven't seen these teams be able to – I've seen Shador do it more than Cam, but I haven't seen them be able to just take their team on their back and really separate to another level in a game where their team had to have them do it,
Yeah, the baggage –
okay, Shador did it in that one Hail Mary right in that game, but who was we playing, Colorado State or something in that one? Like, it's like I didn't see you do it against Texas or whoever, the big dog. I need to see you – who won the damn Big 12 last year. I need to see you do it against them.
Shador's baggage a little bit scares me, right? You know what I mean? Coming in, he's got to have an entourage, Deion, all that kind of stuff. Deion's going to be very, very vocal and involved, right? So that kind of scares me a little bit. And it may be because I've seen, like I said, Cam play a lot, being that he's like Mr. Miami this year, you know what I mean? Plus, he also played in a very similar, close to a pro offense, right? You know what I mean? With the kind of the way the game is played, great wide receivers, right?
And I don't think yards at Washington State before that.
That's right. I just like the fact that I think this kid might be able to adapt because he's been in so many different offices, which, so Shador has been playing the same one, right? Whatever level it was.
And that's kind of that's a good point. That's a good point. They've always molded the offense to fit him because he's always been playing for Dad. Yep. There's nothing wrong with that. They've been successful. They've done well, and everybody's eating better continuously through that. But at the same time, Cam Ward's played for different coaching staff, been in different environments, lived in different parts of the country. That matters. Places are different, I promise y'all. And so he's maybe but this ain't like Shador ain't going to be used to that too, though.
Absolutely.
Done his whole life. So I'll be honest with you. We can talk about these two guys and compare them to each other. I don't think either one of them's going to be one of the future top 10 quarterbacks in the league. I don't.
No, absolutely neither. It's crazy. We're having this, we're talking about comparing these two guys, but I don't think I've ever felt like, oh shit, man, we're fucked. You know what I mean?
The two best players on that board or that should be taken. If you're going to take somebody number one, first of all, if you're going to take somebody number one overall, and you want a can't miss, surefire, about to give you a decade plus of some real productive football, you don't pass on Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
And that guy's an absolute monster. And if you want another guy that's right behind him, and I've been torn because I've been saying he's the best player all along. I love Travis Hunter. I do. A lot of people don't like him. I love Travis Hunter. He needs to kind of shut the fuck up a little bit already.
Absolutely.
You ain't played it down in the NFL yet, man. I'm just saying when you start doing it, just play ball, man. Because you're one of the greatest. You could be one of the greatest athletes of all time if you just do it the right way. Stop all this bullshit with your girlfriend and all this.
And his podcast and shit,
Yeah, all that shit. You need to focus on playing football, man. And but I think I don't hear Abdul Carter doing all that shit. That's why I think Abdul Carter's about to come in and wreck some folks, bro.
No, I agree with you 100%. I mean, some of these young players, I know the money is there, and they're using their name, image, and likeness to kind of strike gold right now. You know what I'm saying? Get their money as much as they can. But at the end of the day, it's more of a longevity right now, dude. You got paid for the short term. Most likely, they haven't saved a single dime of that NIL money. You know what I mean? Because they know they're going to go to the NFL. So. We shall see, my friend. It's going to be an interesting draft. We're looking forward to his next month. So, and cricket. To end on a high note here. Hey, man, Tiger Woods for vice president or president, bro, in the next 5 or 7 years, bro. All right, in the Republican Party.
I'll vote for Tiger today.
He's out of here. Oh, man. And no, the biggest story here is how good is Kai Trump golf's game is going to be if this guy becomes a staple in the family of Mary's mom.
I'm just saying, man.
Because she's a hell of an athlete. Have you seen her play? She's playing at UM too.
She looks like she's in very good shape there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those things where hell, if they're willing to learn, Tiger can teach you. Tiger make anybody good at golf. Man, I hate to hear about his Achilles and all that stuff. Y'all know I've been saying for a while. I told y'all to start to quit spending your money on betting Tiger win majors, all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody thinks I'm a Tiger hater. I've always loved Tiger, man. I grew up watching I love Tiger death. I just know when it's over, man. That man's been through way too damn much. His body's half robot now. And it's like at some point that's going to affect you. And when you got to walk up down these courses, these are not when you're playing at Augusta or you're playing at St. Andrews or Pebble Beach. These ain't easy courses to walk, y'all.
No, man. Actually,
Achilles, I hate to see it.
Tiger's the reason why I picked up a golf club. You know what I mean, dude? I mean, I played actually this weekend, and I go out there just for the recreational purposes. You know what I mean? And I did it. I picked it up because my brother played, and a kid like myself who played baseball, who grew up in the inner city and stuff like that. Golf, what are you, crazy, bro? That's like rich people's sport. When Tiger hit the scene, you were like, oh crap.
And back then, there were not a lot of African Americans on tour at all.
No, not at all.
Like 2 or 3.
That's it. And he was like became dominant. You know what I mean? And it was just
he
like,
won the youngest Masters winner ever.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like that was like 97, I think. And so I'm like,
dude, I was in high school. I was graduating high school.
I was 9, 10 years old. So like my first golf memories, I love Tiger Woods, and I always love Payne Stewart, man.
Oh yeah.
He gone too soon and all that tragic deal. And you gotta love John Daly.
Yeah, that's true, man. John Daly's the GOAT, though, man. I remember John Daly. I love John Daly, bro.
I could sit and drink Busch Light, and I'd even smoke a Marlboro Red with him if he wanted to. I don't even smoke cigarettes.
I don't smoke cigarettes either, but I think I would do an exception to have a Busch Light.
I smoke one with John Daly.
And just let me hear you talk about your stories on tour, bro.
Dude, that's all I want. And I don't want to hear about golf. I want to hear about you like wrestling gators in the
hell yeah, dude. Going ham, bro. I just love, and to end on a high note, just to end this real quick here, I just love how he says, please give us some privacy. Okay, dude. First of all, you're hooking up with the president of the United States' son's ex-wife. Okay, where they have detail on her because of her daughter, Kai Trump. So I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. There's no privacy if you're involved with the wrong chick. Put it that way, bro.
Tiger, you should know by now. You ain't got no damn privacy, bro. You earned all that, and you've done it.
And just made it worse.
If you wanted privacy, Tiger, you should have calmed down some time ago, my man.
Exactly,
and and if you thought this was going to get you the privacy you wanted,
it's like complete opposite.
Yeah, don't be dumb, Tiger. We know you ain't no dummy, Tiger.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Man, Cricket, great show, man. We got some entertainment, bro. Gave the folks some predictions here for the Sweet 16, man. And absolutely, my man.
Dude.
Tell them what you're up to, bro. Tell them what you're up to so far, man. Come on, give shout out to all your stuff. I know you got a lot of things going on, the tournaments, all this stuff. Go ahead, man.
For sure. Well, first I'll shout out to supporting and B-Mac over there in the group chat. B-Mac says Jim Furyk and John Daly, baby. He said he's smoking. I like Freddie Couples too, bro.
Yeah, Freddie Couples was nice too.
Chat, man. Good to see y'all as always. But yeah, you can find me on X at Cricket1414. Cricket is spelled with 2 T's. You also find me over at sportspicks.logos.com, where we got the great Robert Barnes making his official picks. Y'all can come sign up for those over there. I post all my stuff for free at SportsPicks and on my X. But if you want to sign up for Robert's picks, and that man's been crushing the tournament, y'all, you can come over and do that at sportspicks.logos.com. We have the morning show over on the Game On Network on Rumble every single morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 a.m. Pacific. Me and Will are there every single morning, Monday through Sunday. And then we have a show on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time in the evening with my guy Steps and I called Pump the Brakes. And then I have Crick's Corner on Wednesday and Friday afternoons at between 1 and 2 p.m. Eastern, just depending on my schedule. But we always on the Rumble, man, over there on the Game On channel. So y'all come check us out, hang out with us, man. We'd love to see you.
They call you the James Brown of content creation, bro, right? And sports entertainment here, my man. You know what I mean? You're always grinding, bro, on and off the scenes.
That's it, man. That's what it's all about. We're just trying to make it, man.
Absolutely, brother. Hey, everybody follow Cricket, man. There's nobody in this space, right, that gives out as many free picks as Cricket does. And he had the track records. I'm telling you, man, just follow him and just track, and you'll see. I'm not.
And I'm 100% transparent, y'all.
Absolutely.
My results are posted on my picks every single day and updated every single day, man.
It's what it is. Give you the information. You do. You choose what to do with it, all right? Gamble responsibly for it, boys and girls.
Absolutely. Hey, don't spend the damn light bill and keep groceries in the refrigerator, man. Make sure them kids got shoes on the feet.
Damn right, brother. Make sure the food's on the table, you damn degenerates.
That's right, man. That's right. We do support responsible gambling. We do this to have fun, enjoyment, get a little stuff to talk about. Don't ever put yourself in a bad spot, man. That ain't what this is about.
Absolutely. If you don't have it, don't use it.
That's right.
All right, Cricket. We will see you next week, my man. Your boy E-Man and Cricket signing out, y'all. Peace.
Take care, y'all.